watch a movie. April Fools, I think a Tuesday. Spring had just arrived.
Well then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it might be, wherever you might be. Hello and welcome to the first live show in like ages. It's been months. I've been really busy. So well, we'll come into that. Let's just make sure that everything is working first. Just do a little shout out in the chat room, which does appear to be working. I want to make sure that you can all hear and see me. I see my levels bouncing. I know that I've got that. I didn't set up my new Lufts meter yet for the live thing. I got to do that at some point. But we are actually live and on the air. So let's just bring up the chat. First of all, we've got Mr. Bug Bob saying good morning. If I can figure out which button brings up the chat. Prep chat button. See, this is definitely going to be a little bit iffy because I haven't done this in a long time. You know, I did test this before and that actually worked. So why isn't that working now? Oh, come on. It worked in the tests before the show. Is it? Oh, there it is. Ha-ha. Mr. Bug Bob, good to see you, my friend. Good morning to you. We have Aaron in the house as well. Excellent. Good to see. Oh my gosh, I'm going to see. Bob has got a bunch of questions, so I'm going to scroll back to that. Let's just see. We've got LST Personal OF. That's quite the long name. Doesn't have classes today, so you're ready to watch live? Excellent. Thank you. Saying hello to everybody. Bob also doesn't have classes today. Well, look at that. There we go. Oh, we got Bushman Media in Sweden. We got Peter Gillespie. Tell me where you're calling in from, right? Not calling, you know what I mean. Watching from. We've got Peter Gillespie from somewhere. Let's see here. Oh, now my scroll thing just flew off the screen. That is still a YouTube thing where the chat just kind of goes, ha, and just jumps ahead. And then I have to scroll back and figure out where I was. We've got the girl who left the fridge open. Did you get yelled at a lot as a child for that? Saying you ordered a G9 for a good price in Korea. Awesome. Be the first Lumix gear to own, so very excited to try it out with the Olympus lenses that I own. Excellent combination. Thank you, PhotoJoseph, and love your DxO appearances. Well, thank you very much. That is awesome. Oh, let's see. I'm going to scroll down and find where people are saying that they actually can hear me just to make sure that is actually happening. We got Peter saying, hi from sunny Scotland. Excellent, and levels are good. Hello from the Netherlands. Fantastic. Let's see what else we've got here. We got Randy just saying hi. Chris Spencer saying it all sounds good. Moses here from Ghana. Wow, love it. Atlanta, near Disneyland, California. Oop, missed that one. There we go. Disneyland, California. We got Chris Spencer in the UK. We've got Kevin Lee in Hidden Valley Lake, California. Nice, nice. Canada, eh? Perfect. Puerto Rico. Wow, I love it. Man, you guys are just from all over the place. That is so cool. Oh, it's good to be back. It is really good to be back. So where have things been? Why have I been so gone? So let's see. Basically in August, I had 3 weeks off. I was on vacation for 3 weeks, and we'll talk a little more about that in a minute. And leading up to that, of course, I had a lot of projects to finish before I could leave, and that just kind of overtook any live. Every Friday, I just can't. I've got to get working on these projects or keep working on these projects. I can't just take off for a few hours, because doing a live show takes basically my entire morning. You know, the prep, setup, whatever, doing the show, and then there's always some post work. That's half my day gone. So if I'm super busy, it just can't really happen. And then, of course, I was gone for 3 weeks, and then I came back, and I was immediately in Texas again I told you guys about this before. I've got a client out there who we're building a huge live streaming setup. It's, what are we up to? 18, I think it's 18 cameras. It's a big setup. And so I was out there to work on that a bit, and then back here just immediately in other projects that we're already falling behind on. And anyway, so I just finally decided today I'm just doing it. I don't care. And it might break because so many things are often due and I haven't touched them in a while. In fact, so the whole system that I use for bringing the chats to air, now that what you're looking at there is Aaron Parecki's own kind of homegrown thing that you can download for free. It's called Chat Overlay. You can, if you go to the Google Play Store, you can just find it there and get that in there, and that's awesome. You should definitely do that and support him. The way that I bring it to air is through this system called Mimo Live, and that's how I bring basically any graphics to air on this show, including the countdown overlay in the beginning, the whole opening animation thing. It's all handled through Mimo. And I fired up Mimo this morning and my license had expired. Fortunately, the good folks at Mimo continue to support the channel and renewed the license within minutes of me asking. And so thank you guys at Boinks Software again. And I will have to do another deep dive into Mimo because it is fantastic and awesome. So if you're doing heavy duty live and you want to do some really serious overlays, graphics integrations, and so on, then Boinks Software, B-O-I-N-X, Boinks Software, Mimo Live is awesome. Mimo stands for multiple in, multiple out, so hence the name. Anyway, so do check that out. Give those guys a peek. Aaron is showing up the URL for his chat overlay extension so that you can grab. I guess it doesn't really show up on the chat, but if you are in the chat, you can find it and click on it. Yes, you can. Oh, Bart, you're here too in Maryland. Awesome. Good to see you, buddy. It's like the old crew's all coming together. So that's that. Let's see anything else in here. Bob's already got a question. So let's scroll back in for that. And actually, before I do, I want to make sure I don't forget a couple of things. So coming up at the end of this month is something called Resolve Conference. It is a free conference to attend online. And if you just Google search ResolveCon, or it might be just resolvecon.com, then you will be able to learn all about it. So ResolveCon is being put on by Casey. Is that? Oh my God, I'm totally. Anyway, it's a bunch of really, really awesome Resolve users. If you are a Resolve editor or you like Resolve, you want to learn more about Resolve, it's a conference to attend. Casey Ferris, there's the name. Sorry, it was just like Casey Neistat was in my head. I'm like, that's not the right Casey. Casey Ferris, who is an awesome YouTuber and live stream, well, not live, but awesome YouTuber for Resolve. He's hosting this thing. Anyway, free online. Also, you can attend in person. It's here in Oregon. Aaron's going to be helping me out with that because I have been tasked with doing the live stream. And I wanted to show you this, which I currently have on loan from Blackmagic, just arrived yesterday, the new Constellation HD. This is the 20 input and output. My client in Texas has got the 4ME, the 40 input and output on order, which is still not delivered. It's killing us. But we're going to be using this. So Aaron will have this to play with in Eugene. But I did want to make sure that you guys knew about it because it is completely free to attend online. If you're able to attend in person, there is a fee, of course, associated with that, plus, your travel and hotels and that sort of thing. But if you do come in person, then you get to hang out with me and with Aaron, with a whole bunch of awesome Resolve folks and geeks, and it's going to be super fun. But if you can't do it in person, do it online, totally free online. And if the live stream sucks, it's all on me and Aaron because we're responsible for that whole thing. Oh man, that's going to be a task. So yeah, I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. Okay, let me go up and see what Bob's questions are here. Let's see if we find the right beginning to this. That looks like it. All right, let's bring that up. So Bob is saying, I've been asked to help set up hybrid meetings for a group I'm in, California Native Plant Society. I have some questions. I've mapped it all out. In-person meeting with a laptop and a projector. In-person, okay. Camera on presenter to the A10 Mini, okay. Camera on attendees to 100 to an A10 Mini. Okay, so this is, you've got a group, live audience, you're gonna point cameras at them. Presenter, screen, and keynote shared via Zoom to remote attendees. Okay, so you have remote people watching via Zoom webinar or just Zoom meeting. Got it, whatever. Okay, wondering if Mevo cameras would do the trick. Oh, not really, because the Mevos don't have HDMI output. And if you're running through the ATEM, then you would need to find a way to convert that to the ATEM signal. So you could, the ATEMs will do the ATEM, the Mevo starts will do NDI output. So you could get a box that does NDI to HDMI, but you're adding a lot of costs there unless you already have the Mevos and have those boxes. That's kind of not the most convenient way to do it. I would not use a Mevo for that. Plus, the Mevo, it doesn't have the greatest low light performance because it's such a small sensor. And if you're pointing a camera out at the audience is presumably going to be lights off. So they'll just be illuminated by whatever's on the screen, maybe a little bit of overhead light. It's probably not going to look that good. And then, of course, for the presenter on stage, it's a fairly wide field of view. So you'd have to, if you had it like right on the podium, that might work. But again, not ideal. I wouldn't use the Mevos for this. If you're doing, I don't think there's any way to really use the Mevos and their software to integrate with this whole Zoom and bringing in the laptop. So yeah, I wouldn't go that route. The ATEM's the right way to go. Doing your Zoom integration is great, but I think you're going to want to use a couple of cameras with HDMI output. Sorry, but that is, I believe, the answer that you need. Okay, Let's see here, moving down farther. Peter said, I've got a similar scenario to Bug Bob. I want to be able to show people asking questions on Zoom. I can pin one person for an interview style, but how do you do it during open questions? Open questions coming in from your Zoom audience or open questions in a live audience? I'm imagining it's all Zoom. So I did a video a little while ago. It's one of my ATEM mini tips on integrating Zoom into the ATEM and how you can even do kind of a split screen. You kind of fake it taking a 2-up or a multi-up from your Zoom as a full screen, and what we call screen scraping, where you're taking that data into the ATEM and kind of rearranging it. So you might want to check that out. It was one of the more recent ATEM mini tips. It's probably 4 or 5 months ago now, but just scroll back through the ATEM mini tips. Start with that, and of course you can post questions in as comments there. And I'm usually pretty good about getting to those, so I would start with that. Oh, Bob also says, I thought maybe an OWL system. I'm not familiar with that. It turns and focuses on the current speaker, but costs money. Okay, yeah, that I'm not familiar with that system. Sorry. Alrighty. And Peter confirming, yeah, how would you do that if they're on Zoom, though? So you got 50 Zoom attendees and multiple hands up. Yeah, you need to bring the person that's talking up to full screen manually, which I think would actually happen automatically if you're depending on your Zoom layout, and you could punch into that view so that the live streaming audience can see that. But again, watch that video that I did. I think that'll really help you a lot. All righty. Bart also has been insanely busy and hasn't posted anything to YouTube in months. Yeah, it's been my last YouTube video, which is a total epic fail, by the way. If you guys haven't watched it, please go do it. It needs views desperately. It was a sponsored video. I was talking about 32-bit float audio and timecode support in the Tascam X8 recorder. It's an awesome piece of hardware. So another shout out to these guys. This little guy here has got built-in microphones. It's 32-bit float recorder, has timecode support. It's incredible. And I did this great video on it, and like nobody's watched it. It's one of those, where you do a video and crickets. You're going, I got paid for this. It's supposed to get lots of views. So please go watch it, like, share, all that good stuff. But anyway, that's the last video that I published. I have a new video coming out next week. It's completely done, ready to go. It's under embargo though, so I can't tell you what it is, but that's coming out next week. It's totally I've never been this far ahead of the game. It's there. But of course, now I also have 2 more videos that I'm supposed to have out by the end of the month. Oh, God. Oh my. All right, scrolling back down on the comments. Anything else? Oh, look, thank you, Aaron. Aaron is sharing the link to Mimo Live. So there you go, check that out. And he's also sharing the link to ResolveCon. So isn't there a short link, just resolvecon.com, that redirects to that ground control film? I think so. But either way, ResolveCon 2022, find that and you will. And you are very welcome, Bob. There you go. Knew me would have the answer. There it is. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, I wonder if okay, I've not tested this animation. Let's see if this works. My little join thing. And yes, it works. Okay, a little flicker there while it caught up with itself. But yeah, channel membership. You can join the channel. It's a whole thing. We have a Discord. And the Discord channel is growing nicely. We're getting more and more cool conversations happening in there. So if you join the channel as a paid member, it's as little as 99 cents a month. You are obviously supporting the channel. And the greatest benefit to you, other than supporting my smiling face, is that you get to join the Discord. And the Discord's kind of cool. You talk about all kinds of fun techie stuff in there. There's even a food and drinks channel, so, as it is. Ooh, speaking of drinks, did you all see so I shared it, obviously. It was on my Instagram and on my Twitter and everywhere else, but I was a guest on a YouTube show called Kevin Koss's Cocktail Time, or Cocktail Time with Kevin Koss. It is obviously a cocktail show. It's all about making mixed drinks. And he is Slovenian. He is in Maribor, where I am moving to in less than a year. I can't believe this. We'll talk about that in a bit. And he's a friend, through YouTube. We met a couple years ago, I guess. And I was on a show. So that was kind of a fun thing. So it was not the one that just came out today, but the one that came out last week. He releases pretty much every Friday. So you get to do when you have a team. And it was awesome. It was fun. So please go watch that video. Support his channel. His stuff is awesome. If you enjoy cocktails, it is definitely a channel to subscribe to. So Cocktail Time with Kevin Koss. If you search for that, you'll find it. Or just search for that. That's the most easiest. And Aaron is confirming, yes, you are right. Simply resolvecon.com will take you to that Resolve thing. Okay, so yeah, so my whole thing works. So the join to the one, yeah, now it's animated properly. There we go. It's caught up with itself. If you join the channel, then you get access to that Discord and fun stuff like that. Okay, super. Let's see here. What else do we want to do? I'm just impressed that everything's actually working. See, I'm looking at my stats. I'm on air. Stream. Oh, wait. It says am I only streaming in 1080p? No, input standard. Oh, somehow I'm only streaming HD today. How did that happen? Confirm that for me, because I'm just realizing the data rate is way too low, and I see up here it says streaming standard 1080p. That's very strange. Thank you, huge truck driving by. What's that thing called? Web presenter. I'll look at the software for that. This was supposed to be 4K, but it apparently is not. On air, YouTube platform. Yep, 1080p. Huh. Oh, I'll bet last time I was streaming, I probably had some issues, and so I dropped it to 1080. Darn. Oh well. Stanley says, is it me or is my audio going soft every now and then? I don't know why it would. Where'd the chat go? There it is. I don't know why it would go soft, other than me just talking a little bit quieter. But I went simple on the audio today. The microphone's just here. I haven't done anything fancy with it. But do report back, and everybody's confirming 1080p. Darn. Confirm if anybody else is hearing my audio do weird things. I don't know. Speaking of audio, let me show you this. So before, it was a couple weeks ago, I guess. Come here, let me grab this. Come on, stop being tangled up. There we go. I have had all kinds of troubles with audio, as any regular viewers of the show will know. If I just keep it simple, keep the mic here, then it's fine, right? But I really don't like, Bart is offended that I'm at 1080p. I concur. It is an offense to be at just HD. Anyway, so I've had all kinds of troubles with audio. If I leave the mic clipped out here, fine. Obviously, that's okay. Now that I've got levels and quality good, but out here it's fine. But I don't like to have the mic visible. It's just one of those things where I would much prefer the mic to be hidden. So I've tried a million different ways to get my mic hidden, but not have close rustle, close bumping, muted audio, whatever. And so I have I'm part of a local film community. So where I live in Southern Oregon, it's actually a really small town, but there's a lot of pretty big industry people that live here because they've been in the industry long enough. They don't have to live in LA or New York, whatever. So they live here. And a lot of them travel to LA for work, but this is where they live. And so this little local film community, we all get together and chit chat, whatever. And I had put a question out a while ago asking if there's anybody in the group who was an audio pro who could help me with mic setup. And naturally, there's a guy who's been in the industry for like 40 years. So he came over and spent some time with me in the studio, and we were trying to figure out how to mic up audio. And it's really, I'm going to show, this isn't done. I mean, I'm not using it because I hadn't really thoroughly tested it, but let me go, yes. Go to the overhead view here. And so he's kind of rigged up this thing where it's got the Moleskine and it's got this little bumblebee holder in here and this little metal wire to keep clothes from rustling against it. And it's attached to the clothes right now with Joe's sticky stuff, which I'm going to replace with something a bit lower profile. And then I just got some new tape to tape this down that's a better tape that has Moleskine over it as well. And it's kind of this big kludgy looking thing, but in our initial test, it really does work to keep the clothes rustle away. And it was really interesting is he brought in his mics that he uses on set. And they were just covered in stuff like this. You watch any YouTube video about how to wire up your mic to avoid clothes rustle, and they always start with a clean mic and one little attachment. They put it on, it all sounds great. But I've done that 1,000 times, and there's always something that is wrong. It's never as easy as it looks in any of the YouTube videos. And so I thought it was really interesting when a guy who literally does this for a living, for Hollywood productions, came in with his mics and they were just completely covered up with stuff like this. I just going to go to another shot of that. I just thought it was really interesting the way he had it and the way he ended up rigging this one up. So it's never just one thing, it's a bunch of different pieces. You can see there's a little wire over here as well that keeps the clothes away from the mic capsule. So very interesting. And again, I'm not using it now just because I need to do a little bit more setup on it. I finally got the tape to do the right taping on here. And I'm also actually going to rig in for my recorded stuff a second mic that's under the lapel here so that I have a backup for my recordings in the event that I bump a mic or whatever. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Audio's hard. I mean, seriously. Audio is hard. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's see what else has come up, and then I'm going to talk about the eventual move to Europe. Better now, I think he turned his head to the side. Yeah, if get my chat back up here. If I turn, and the mic is here, right? So if I'm turning this way or this way, there's likely to be a little bit of a difference in there. I can't do a lavalier like that. My beard obscures the sound. Yes, Bob has a beard that goes, he's got the ZZ Top beard that comes down too far. So yeah, interesting. I wonder how do you do it, Bob? You must have to clip a mic. If you put an Omni mic up here, it'd be fine. Anyway, interesting challenges. I live for holidays. Who doesn't? Could you tell me which recording mode I should set in my GH5 Mark II to be able to record 4K, well, C4K, 6010p, Apple ProRes to Atomos Ninja 5 HDMI 2? I'm new to this combo. Oh, okay, well, you just got to set raw out on. Does the GH5, where's my GH5 2? There it is. Let's see here. Does it have a battery in it? Probably not. Oh, this would be fun. I can actually do this the way that it's intended. I have the system. Ooh, let's see. I have the system set up to show this on screen. I wonder if I have a preset built. Did I ever build one? I'm looking at my preset buttons here to pull this up. Give me a second. No. Huh. I guess I didn't. Darn. I really don't have a preset for this? Clean air, show close. Darn it. Well, I guess that's something else I need to do. So I can show you the full screen of here through. I don't even have a button for that set up, but I can pull it up anyway, of what's going on in here. But I can't do, normally I would have a cutout super source of the menu over this video of me, but apparently I never set that up on this new system. So let's get a lens on here so we're not looking at nothing. And we'll see if we can make this work. Let's see if we can figure it out. Basically, you're just enabling raw output. And I don't recall offhand if C4K 60 is supported, so I will have to look this and we'll find out. But we'll get there. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a lens cap off so something's showing up through here. And there we go. And bring this HDMI cable should, God, I love it when a camera has full-size HDMI. It is a beautiful thing. Plug that in there. And, ooh, it's funny. So this LCD is a normal flip LCD, which you can't flip when the HDMI cable is in. It really makes me, as soon as I grab this, it makes me miss the GH6 one that does have the full flip out and down LCD. It's such a great design. Anyhowdy. All right, let's see here. Is this showing up? Let me put that into view. So that's in view. I may have to do that. Well, no, I can't do that either. All right, sorry. Give me a second here. Video hub. That's what I need. I need the video hub control, which here I can show you what this looks like. This is the, there we go. There's the video hub control. This is what allows me to choose what's on which display. And so I need to send, actually, that's not what I need. What do I need? Nah, this will work. Is it? You know, it's so funny. You get like used to something and then you don't use it for a while and then you forget how things work. I need to route this into, ooh, I got to put this into one of the ATEM inputs. That's what I need to do, which it might already be. All right, let's go find that. ATEM software control. And here you can see that as well. Let me hide this other junk on my screen. Let's go back to this. So the ATEM software control, I look at my inputs, my multi-view actually, let's see if I have, because I should have studio rack, PC, desk. I think that's it. Let's see, if I go to desk, no, that's not it. Oh, yeah, no, that is it. That's it. That is this camera. Okay, HDMI out is clean right now. So let me go back to this view, and I will just do it manually there. So, all right, here, I'll go back to here. Let me set the HDMI out to show HDMI connection. There we go. Actually, here, I can do it this way. You should be able to see top down. There we go. So HDMI connection. No, it's not HDMI connection. It is, where is the HDMI output info? It's not HDMI connection. Power save. Good grief. You know, I've only done this 1,000 times. You think I'd remember HDMI record output here, info display on, down convert off. Let's just set it to 4K to make sure it matches everything. And let's turn off the sound output, make sure we don't get any audio feedback. Okay, so that works. And let's go in here and make sure record quality is set to 4K 30. Yes, okay, so now I should be able to bring up this. Yes, there we go. And we got the menu. Super, there it is. Okay, so there's your nice clean menu. By the way, you can see this guy over here. This is the new, I haven't tested this yet. Aaron did a show on it. This is the new YOLO box for vertical. I've got to figure out how to integrate this into my show. Anyway, so now what we're doing is we go into the video. Here we go. It's somewhere in here, I believe, the raw output. Did I just pass it? Or is it down here? Record quality. Wait, does the GH52 even do raw? You say raw or ProRes? I'm sorry. Let me go back to the question. Were you asking ProRes? Oh, ProRes, not ProRes raw. Oh, okay, that's way easier. Sorry. Okay, so then there's really not anything to do. You just set up the, you just plug in the monitor and set your video output how you want it. So in this case, again, let's go back to this view here. You would be going to, you said C4K 60. Yeah, C4K 60. Okay, so C4K 30, C4K 30, C4K 60. Okay, so when you set it to C4K 60, these are your options here, right? These are the two. So set them at 4K, 17 by 9, 60p. The difference between these two is only for capturing internally. So you see one is 10-bit, one is 8-bit. They're all 420, not 422. But that's internal recording. When you, if you set either of these, it doesn't matter which one, you set either of those. Now it's going to black out. Let's see if it comes back up. And it will not, because now it's not scaling it out. But anyway, you set it to that, and then plug in your monitor, your Ninja recorder, and that's it. What's coming out of the HDMI is always going to be 422 10-bit. There's no, you can't say, oh, only send out 420 or only send out 8-bit. It's always 422 10-bit. So as long as you set the recording mode in the camera the way that you want it, as far as the resolution and the frame rate, what comes out over HDMI is always going to be 422 10-bit, and that's all you need to know. So hopefully that answers your question. That actually was your question. I think so. Excellent. Okay, moving on. It's a good camera. Let's see here. Thanks for sharing the live setup. You are more than welcome. I'm glad that that was interesting, and hopefully it actually works. Is this a studio or a camera store? Those shelves are getting packed. I know. So, all right, let's talk about the fact that I am moving in less than a year. I'm moving internationally in less than a year, which means, oh, moving, this is gonna be fun. I've already talked to a relocation company. They have an estimate that kind of made my brain hurt of what it's gonna cost to ship all this, but you know, it is what it is. This move has been planned for nearly a decade, so it's happening. I'm not gonna bring absolutely everything. There are things that I will get rid of. First of all, I will be selling off anything that is 110 voltage only, so I mean, this TV is a piece of junk. I have a couple of really nice TVs that I'll be selling, you know, LG 4K TVs, unless you're local, you probably don't want to buy those. Strobes, I have studio strobes, plug-in power strobes that are 110 only, so those will sell. Not going to sell any of my modifiers or LEDs because, you know, those are awesome. I might sell some cheaper LEDs that I don't use anymore. So there will be some kind of cheap stuff that I will be selling. Might even give some of that away, like just pay shipping kind of a thing, just to get rid of it. You know, when it comes to this stuff, nothing good is going to get sold. Sorry, I'm keeping the good stuff because I use it. It's just for things like this. I barely shoot on the GH5 Mark II, but I have one because I'm a Lumix ambassador, and it's opportunities like this when, you know, people ask a question, I got to be able to answer it. Anyway, but I will be selling off some of this stuff. So stay tuned. If you like buying used gear, probably in 6 months or so, I'm going to have to get serious about that and really start emptying the shelves around here. But anyway, wild and crazy things. Okay. Let's see here. Since you asked, use the GG on my plate. Okay, that was somebody else that asked. Robert says, you prove content is king with the info you share. Thank you very much. I will watch you in HD or SD. Just keep sharing your knowledge. Well, this is HD. It's just not 4K. 4K is where it's supposed to be. There's literally 1,000. There's literally 1,000. I think you responded to somebody else. I used to know about the S1H, but stopped using it for a day. Now I can't find anything. I'm not quite sure I understand that statement, but hopefully that was a response to somebody else who does understand that statement. Nice to know I'm not the only one who forgets my settings and how to change them. In my defense, I use a lot of different cameras, and the menus are not always the same. And so, that's partially why I'm often very, very confused. Never be as painful as a Sony menu system. It's bad. You know whose menu system is good? It's the Blackmagic menu system. I finally bought a what is it even called? The Video Assist, the Blackmagic Video Assist, little 5-inch one, because I wanted to be able to record to Blackmagic RAW. I have tons of Atomos stuff. I have done a lot of work with Atomos. Love it. Love ProRes RAW. Actually like ProRes RAW better than BRAW. But I'm using Resolve now, and Resolve ain't supporting ProRes RAW. And I talked to them about it many times, and I keep getting different answers of why they won't, so I cannot get a straight answer. I personally believe that it is just an attitude thing. Like, no, we're just not going to support it. Not for any technical reason. Anyway, so I bought a Blackmagic Video Assist. Haven't shot anything on it yet, but setting it up, going through the menus, like, ooh, that's a nice menu system. That's a really nice menu system. They've definitely got that figured out. Anywho, was that a Yoho box for pirates? Exactly. He'll be there with a truck. Hey, come on up, buddy. Come on up. Many appreciate your effort. I didn't know the signal via HDMI will be 422. Yeah, HDMI out, always 422, always 10-bit. You cannot downgrade that. I think in, oh, I got UPS. Hey, no worries. No. Oh, woo, guess what came? Yes, it is. How did you know? Because you're delivering about 1,000 of these today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a signature.
Oh, it's quite all right. I'm glad you're getting one because I don't want this left outside.
All right,
have a good one.
Yep.
Well, I guess you all know it just showed up, don't you? Don't you? If something that the UPS man said was Apple just showed up, well then I guess my new iPhone just came. So I did get the iPhone 14 Pro. Look at this now, a spontaneous unboxing. That's probably a thing. Oh, look at that. Spontaneous unboxing of the 14 Pro, not the 14 Pro Max. I am upgrading from the 12 Pro. 12. I did not go to the 13. Usually skip a year. So this just turned into an unboxing. Toys, toys, toys. Look at the comments coming in. All right, let's see here. Yep, toys must be an iPhone. Aaron is correct. Toys, toys, toys. All right, let's get this off of here. Let's get this out of this. Clear some space. Let's clear some space, and let's do this. Shall we do like a full-on? Oh, this is great. I had no idea it was coming this early today. Usually UPS shows up around lunchtime, so this is exciting. I get to do, let's see here. Okay, come on, there we go. It's kind of a good shot, isn't it? Very pretty, very pretty. That's the top there. Let's open that up. Little arrows, just in case you didn't know, you pull this apart to get to the box. Oh, look at that. Look, it's recyclable. That's very pretty indeed. Look at the close up. Yeah, look at that. Watch out, Vanna. Here I am. Okay, let's go. Let's check this thing out. Focus. The autofocus on this overhead camera works reasonably well. The problem is that when I take everything out of the way, it's pure white and it just completely loses the plot. So anyway, let's get that back in there. There we go. Okay, so what have we got? We have iPhone. That's a good shot. Look at that. It's so pretty. We got the iPhone. I got the purple one. I think it's beautiful. Let's get into this thing. All right, let's go here. I got 14 Pro. What size did I get? 1 terabyte? I think that's what no. I didn't go that big. This says on here somewhere. I don't remember. 512. I didn't go for that. I went one step up. That's what I did. One step up from the baseline. So the biggest change, of course, is the cameras from the 12. This one, I've never had the macro. I've never had the macro. I don't have ProRes on my 12, so that's all new. Look at that pretty purple. Is that purple coming? That's reasonably purple coming through. Yeah, I think the colors are reasonably good on there. I'm looking at my screens while looking at the thing in real person life. Those camera lenses are big. Let's see here. You got a charging cable, and obviously that's it. Okay, so let's see here. I want to compare, grab my 12, and because it's the lenses that were like the biggest telltale thing. Can we talk cases for a minute? Apple used to make a really nice leather case. And I know this because my wife owns an iPhone 11, and she has the Apple leather case for that. And she has had the iPhone 11 since it came out, so 3 years ago. That case is gorgeous. It looks good as new. The leather has worn beautifully. It has a nice patina on it. It is, it's a very nice leather case. On the other hand, between the iPhone 11 and 12, Apple apparently got a new vendor, manufacturer, whatever. Check these cases out. I have had 2 of these cases. I talked Apple into replacing one because it was so bad. There we go. Look at how horrible these are. This is their, $60 whatever leather case. They're a disaster. This is what the iPhone leather cases look like after, let's say, 9 to 12 months of use. Yeah, I think that's about right because I had the first one. No, I think this is the original one. I had this one, wore it the hell out, convinced Apple to give me a new one, and the new one destroyed even faster. I mean, just awful. Really, really disappointing, Apple. Like, come on, guys. You can do better. This is the Moment case, which is for mounting the anamorphic lenses. Not a huge fan of the case. I mean, it's really nice and solid, but I like the leather feel. But anyway, let's go back to the purple, shall we? Let's go back to the purple. I guess I should start putting things into here so it can focus before I actually bring it on air. Okay, anyway, so big camera lens is what I wanted to do. I wanted to compare it. That is a huge difference in size. That is a massive difference in the lens size. Wow. That is wild how different that is, how much bigger that is. Wow, there we go. Very exciting. I'm not going to obviously go through a whole setup. I guess I could peel the screen off here. That's always fun. Here, we can do that. Let's do the peel. Okay, let's get this one out of the way. Are we ready? Should I get my mic? Here, I'll do this. No, I'm not going to. I should get my mic down there and get the full-on peel sounding, but here we go. What a lovely slab of black glass. I actually am kind of an anti-case kind of I never had wanted cases on my phones. I actually didn't have a case on my phone until I got this one. And the reason was the wobble. I hate that when I put it down on the table, it wobbles. Well, this one's, of course, even worse because it's got an even bigger bigger camera bump. So, yep. Anyway, these are off in size by mere millimeters. And so I do believe that means I did order a new case, a new Moment case. Let's go back to the overhead shot. But gosh, I mean, I'll bet it will fit. I'll bet it fits. Maybe I don't need that new case because that really does seem, I mean, I looked at the specs and it was kind of 1 millimeter difference. I'll have to try that. Let's just try it now. Let's go. Oh no, but the camera holes are going to be way too small. Although this pops out, doesn't it? Oh yeah, because this pops out somehow. I want to break it. There we go. So that's the lens holder. That pops out. Now I have ordered a new one of these. They're sending they're only $5, but I had to get a 3D printed one. The actual injection molding ones will come in a few months. But now I'm just really curious. Is that hole? Whoa, no, the hole's totally not big enough. Yeah. All right, definitely need a new case. Okay, well, that's all right. I already ordered it. But there we go. Nice purple iPhone. It's supposed to be heavier. Well, I guess it feels heavier. Anyway, that was exciting. Look at that. You got to experience the unboxing. First live unboxing. Well, other than all the ones that happened under the embargo release. All right, enough of that. Let's move back into the comments. What else is happening here? Scrolling back up, figure out where we are. And all right, we are talking iPhones here. Aaron says, you've got the 13s, you're skipping the 14. That is fair. He says it's time to reduce gear and then gets a delivery. Man after my own heart. Yeah, I know, believe me. It's like a daily thing here. And as things come in, I'm always thinking, wait, this is a bad idea. But there you go. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I might get the 14 Pro Max since I get like $600 for the 12 Max trade-in. Yeah, actually, I'm getting $430 for the trade-in on my 12. And I felt like that was fair. It's a little bit less than half the price of what I'd paid for it. And, you know, for 2 years of use, I got more than, let's call it $600 use out of this thing in 2 years, that's for sure. So I feel like it's fine. And I could sell this for more, I'm sure, but it's just, you know, Apple makes it far too easy. I just don't want to deal with it. Also arriving today, most likely will be an empty box that I just pop this in, stick a new label on, and off it goes back after I'll obviously erase it. So, ooh, I want to talk about this real quick. So when the iPhone 14 was announced, you know, all of a week ago, whatever it was, I was very unhappy that they removed the physical SIM, at least on the US models. because when I travel, I'm always buying local SIMs. You go into a store, like on my trip when I was just in Slovenia, go into a store, buy a local SIM for $1, for €1. I got a SIM with 4 terabytes or something of data. You can't beat that. So that's awesome. And I do this all the time, all over the world, buy a SIM, pop it in. And so that disturbed me. So I posted something on Twitter about how, nice phone, but this seems like a bad idea. And then I was educated, nay, I was schooled on how easy it is to get foreign eSIMs, international eSIMs. And in fact, you can actually buy them there's a few apps. I don't remember the names of them now, but there's a few apps. You just search the App Store for eSIM, I'm sure. And you can buy them before you even get there. So I know I'm going to, say, the UK. I could go in, buy a local UK eSIM, have it installed on my phone, all just through the App Store effectively. And then when I get there, I'm already online. I thought that's kind of cool. So about the physical SIM, I'm sure it will have effect on some people. It will not be ideal. But I was very impressed how easy it is, and that's something I never knew. So there you go. eSIMs apparently are really easy to get up and running and install. And I saw Farouk, the iPhone dope. He was talking about transferring eSIMs between phones and how it takes like 30 seconds or something. You just go transfer and it transfers over, and now the eSIM's on another phone. So that's super awesome. So I'm excited about that. Shark, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Let's see, bring that up. Saying, good afternoon, the iPhone 14 is not that big a deal compared to the GH6 or S1H Mark II. S1H Mark II. You sounds like you think you know something. Of course it's not, but I can still be excited about it. It is still an awesome little phone. Does Gerald know I have his purple iPhone? It's funny. It's like every year, every new generation, they do one new color and drop whatever that new color. I actually really liked the indigo on here, but what does it matter when you put a case on it? That's part of the whole thing of not having a case. So when I bought the case for this from Moment, they don't have a purple case. It's like an indigo. I think it's kind of like this color. Whatever. Oh well. I would rather just not have a case on it, but that bump. I'll try it. I'll try it without a case for a while. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That is an insane. You can't really see it from there, but just look at the width of this thing. That is such the depth of that. That is such a massive bump that it is, especially from here. I guess if you're forget it. Forget about it. Forget about it. It ain't happening. All right, let's see. Anything else? I want it for the 48 megapixel camera, otherwise I just keep using the 12. I find that interesting. The 48 megapixel camera, for actually creating 48 megapixel images, is kind of insane. Who needs that? But I understand it's the subsampling. You are supposed to get a much better quality, larger light gathering. So I am excited to try that, how they take their, 4 pixels at once and treat them as 1 or something. That's pretty cool. I'm excited for the macro mode, because I don't have that since I don't have the 13. And, that's kind of cool. I remember when the 13 came out, all these great macro footage, like, ooh, that's impressive. And ProRes. Again, I barely ever shoot with my iPhone for anything I'm actually using in a video, but maybe I'll do it a little bit more now. I've got the anamorphic lenses for Moment, and so once I have the adapter for that, that's kind of cool to be able to do ProRes with the anamorphic on the iPhone. So that's pretty great. It's just another tool in the box. That's all it is. I'm all in on the quad lock cases, especially now with the new magnetic mount and magnetic chargers. I am not familiar with quad lock cases. I will have to look into those. In fact, I'm going to just set that up right now because I will forget. Quad lock iPhone case. There we go. Okay. With all this selling, mention moving, where are you moving to? Oh, I guess I didn't say that. So I'm moving to Europe. I'm moving to Slovenia. That is the country where my wife is from. And we've been here for 10 years, and it's time to make a change. And this has been a plan since we moved here, since we set up shop here. It's been a plan. I have older kids. My middle child is about to turn 18. He's a senior in high school. So kind of once he ages out effectively, our plan is to move on. And so that's been our plan for a very long time. It is happening. On this last trip, when I was there last month, we were there for 3 weeks, a big part of that trip, other than obviously visiting family, was to do some of our planning. Except I got interrupted a little bit because we all got COVID. It was very mild, but obviously you got to take precautions and keep indoors and all that. So the middle week, right when we had an apartment rented in the city we're moving to so that we could live there, experience being there, explore. We know the city really well already, but still explore it from the perspective of we're going to live here. Where exactly do we want to live? We were in basic lockdown. What a show. That sucked. But anyway, we got enough if done of what we need to do, dealing with a lot of the logistics of moving there. And most of that is all in place and ready to go. It's actually going to be fairly straightforward. But finding a place to live and to set up my studio, those are the two big ones. So we met with a realtor who's going to be looking for places for us, which we had done a year ago as well, but that was very early. Now we've actually, okay, this is who we're working with, and we're going to find a place. We can't, interesting thing, we cannot buy property there because to get a loan for a home I'm going to assume this is EU-wide, but at least specifically in Slovenia, the banks cannot loan you money. It's illegal for them to loan you money unless you have an income in the EU in euros. And my business is going to remain US based. My income will continue to be through US banks and in US dollars, and I will just transfer or pull out money there as I need it. So I can't get a loan. And my wife is basically doing the same thing. She is going to be continuing working for her US clients. And so we are not going to have income there. So that's an interesting challenge to overcome. We're obviously then going to have to rent, and who knows, maybe that's the only solution. There might be other solutions farther down the road. But it's fine in the beginning anyway, because it's not like we'd want to live somewhere for a little while before we commit to buying a place. But anyway, that's what's happening. So basically next summer, the beginning of summer, end of the school year, we're out. We've got to, yeah. So this is going to be fun. Just kidding. There you go. Okay. Bart only puts his iPhones in Pelican cases. You have a serious Pelican edition. Well, I can understand why. So Bart lost a lot of his stuff to a fire, and the Pelicans saved a lot of his stuff. So there is an understanding of why. And Pelican cases are great. I live near their corporate HQ. I don't think I've ever seen a Pelican iPhone case, but there you go. OSMR removing that label. Was that good? I should have got that microphone a little closer. I'd say the quality of Apple's accessory isn't nearly as good as gear. My Apple Smart iPad keyboard is in tatters after 6 months, $200. Yikes. I do recall, yes, I replaced one of the Apple keyboards at some point for an iPad because it was a disaster. This keyboard, however, is this called the Smart Keyboard? I don't remember. This is a thing of beauty. It is so tight. The way this thing fits together. Let's see if I can actually focus on this little ridge here. How tightly this thing fits together. Come on, there we go. Is remarkable. I mean, there's no gaps. There's no play. It snaps in really tight on there. It feels solid as a brick. This is the iPad Pro 12-inch, I guess. I don't know. It's a couple years old now. I feel like this thing is remarkable, and I love how easily that comes off. So this keyboard, very, very impressed with. A lot of other cases, not so much. Anyway, Bart's got to go. See you later, Bart. Good seeing you, buddy. Stanley says, good to see you back online. Thank you. Got a dash. We have internet. We have national power outage in 10 minutes. Oh, good Lord. Ew. Sorry about that. Get a case. All my students who have no cases have dropped their phone and broken the screen. Okay, so story time. I used to work for Apple, right? When the iPhone launched, I worked for Apple. So I got the original Apple iPhone. All employees, it was really quite the nice little bonus. Every employee got an iPhone for free. But we didn't get it right away. We had to wait until kind of the general public had gotten theirs. Obviously, most of us couldn't possibly wait that long, so we went out and bought them anyway. But I think what happened was my dad wanted one, but he didn't mind waiting, and so I bought one, and then I gave him or he bought whatever, and he got my Apple one. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so back then, I don't put a case on there. I have my original iPhone. Hold on a second. Oh, I got to go get this thing. I had no case on there. Refused. And who knows, maybe there weren't even cases then. And then as time went on, I can't see anything over here. As time went on, I continued to not have cases. And I think I tried one. Oh, and there was the whole iPhone gate. Here it is. Whole iPhone gate thing where the cellular antennas were blocked if you were, quote unquote, holding it wrong. I put one on then. Remember, everybody got a free case because it was the only way to not disconnect your phone calls. But then I got rid of that because it was just like dirt was getting and it was chewing up the side of the phone. And I'm like, go naked. It's the way to go. It's a beautiful thing. It's a work of art. I want to be able to show this thing as it is, use it as it is. The only reason I got a case was the wobble. And I've only once dropped a phone to the severity that it smashed the glass. Only once. There's some wood around here. Oh, there's wood. But anyway, so here's the original iPhone. Let's do an overhead shot on that again. Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy. It's so tiny. It's so cute. It actually still works. It actually still works. I'm sure the charging is gone. Look at the sticker on the back. Nice sticker. Which added a nice little grippy thing. That was the extent of a case. Also helped to identify your phone, but look at that thing. God, it's so tiny compared. And I guess the iPhone mini, is that right? iPhone mini? iPhone, whatever, the small iPhone, it's about that size now, isn't it? So cute. Anyway. There's my story about cases. Okay. Bob says, considering the moment case and anamorphic lenses, please post affiliate links for them. I have. If you look back at the video that I did is a year ago on, was it a Atomos? It was the Atomos anamorphic workflow video, something like that. I have links in there, so you can grab that. Thank you. Yeah, they're great. Where is my, oh, it's in a bag somewhere because I took it on a trip. That's cool. I like them a lot. Bailey, good morning. Oh, look at this. Jeffrey Brown, my buddy that used to live here that abandoned me and moved to Austin, of all places, whatever. You're moving with us. Yeah, you can't get into Slovenia, buddy, but you can move to another country there. They might take you. Love giving him a hard time. Now you can come visit me in London. Absolutely. Remember, you missed out on the show you were planning to come to because of the pandemic. Yeah, I missed out on a lot of stuff because of the pandemic. I don't remember which show that was, but yeah, when the pandemic first started in 2020, early 2020, I had was it March or April or something? I was supposed to come out to the UK. Supposed to do this whole thing with wow, hello, brain going away. Anyway, I was supposed to be there. Didn't happen. Compound houses fans. Compound. Oh my God. Oh, hey, my color damn stereo thing had just arrived. Are you kidding me? I had to wait. My God. When I tried to buy mine, they were out of stock absolutely everywhere. I ended up buying what was supposedly a used one, but the thing was brand new, so it was probably an open box. But I waited. I had one on order. It was going to be 6 months or something. You just ordered yours, what, 48 hours ago and you got it? Well, I'm glad to hear that they're available. So the Clarity M Stereo, that's what I was going to hook up here. I just, whatever, ran out of time this morning. It is among other things, it's a Lufts meter, and the way that it has this like radar kind of thing that spins and it shows you your audio over time and you can really see how your audio levels are. I realized after I got it, I bought it specifically to do live monitoring. I realized after I got it that it will actually work with a plugin, not VST, what do you call it? Yeah, VST, I think that's right, plugin for any app that supports those plugins. And I'm using Resolve, so I put it in Resolve. And I have a hardware on my desk that is showing the audio of what I'm playing back. So when I come to the stage of my YouTube videos where I'm going to do my sound mix, I can look at the audio levels on there and see them in just a really clear way. And I know you can do that through software as well, but the way that it does it is just so nicely done. And having this hardware thing that's just sitting there, it's beautiful. So highly recommend if you want to spend a little money on some new toy. Excellent. All right, round silver bezel. I don't know what we're talking about. Live unboxing, yeah, Aaron. It's just, I don't quite. I mean, this was fun because it just came, but unboxing's like, okay, it's a thing in a box. What's going on with our avatars? My top is black, but it shows up as white. If you're talking about on display, it looks fine. I'm looking at it on screen. It looks fine. Oh, you're talking about the, oh, your top meaning your shirt. Oh, I see. Okay. That, that's funny. That is keying that's happening. So the reason you're seeing it that way, when you said your top, I was thinking the top of the image, but you meant your shirt. And now I can see it on the tiny icon here. The way that you're getting this graphic up with here, I'll do it like this. This graphic up with transparency is it's being keyed. It's against a green screen. I could probably disable that somewhere in here. Let's see here. Nope, that's not it. That's just turning it off. I'm not going to screw it up. Anyway, that part of that key also pulls out a bit of the black. I guess I could probably tweak that, but there you go. So yeah, anything you have black in there is going to. So Bob's looks fine because he doesn't have any black on his, but yes, Mr. Shark here definitely has an issue with that. Sorry. Bele, I found a brand new 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook, okay, on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, usually $3,000 reduced to $1,100. Apparently it's never been used. Do I think it's a scam? Yeah, I think that's a scam. That is way too good of a deal. Yeah, I'd be very careful. If you can pick it up in person, cool. Bring a friend with a big stick. But yeah, that's way too cheap, I think. I mean, that's my gut reaction. Too cheap. Too cheap. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Okay, that's everything on the chat so far. Where are we in time? Oh, we're over an hour already. So unless there's something specific you guys want to chit chat about, I think we can call this a wrap. This is good. It's a good show. I'll remind you once again to do the joining thing. Remember, if you join the channel as a paid member, you have access to the Discord, which is where all the fun conversations happen in the background. I'm usually on there, so if you post a question on a YouTube comment, I might find it the next day or a week later, a month later, depending on how often I get into the comments. If you post a question on Discord, odds are I'll get to it almost immediately because I do have Discord running all the time. Obviously, it's on my phone. So, and I try to help support my members. So if you like to have conversations about techie stuff, ask questions. I mean, it's not like your tech support channel, but ask a question or have a conversation with other like-minded geeks, then it's the place to go for sure. You should definitely do it. And Bob, you are a channel member, but you are not in the Discord. So if you're already a member, and I know Bob is because he's got that little icon next to him there. If you're already a member, go to your membership page. Go to my site and go to your membership settings. I don't know where the settings are, but whatever. You find your membership settings. There will be a link in there, a link to the Discord. And you click on that and it takes you in. And it's kind of fun. The way Discord is integrated with YouTube, it only allows in the channel member. So even if somebody else found the Discord or got that link, they'd get into one channel that is you're here. If this is all you can see, then you probably don't belong here channel. And yeah, it's kind of cool the way it all works together. So please get in there. Get in there. My feature shot on the GH5 and GH5S is finished. Awesome. Oh, Panasonic UK liked it. Lovely. Well, when do I get to see it? Send me a link. I want to see. As I thought, if I do buy it, I'll pick it up in person. Yeah, the potentially scammy MacBook. Definitely. Or maybe it fell off the back of a truck. That's always a thing too. That is always a thing. Ivar, good to see you again. Look at all these people that have not been around in ages. I tried to get into the Discord this morning. Discord hates me, says my password is bad every time I enter it. I mean, I'd say the obvious, like reset your password, but I do recall at some point having a real issue getting into Discord, and I talked to their tech support. I think what happened was I had two accounts, and I think the two accounts even had some duplicate information, so there's a lot of confusion. They fixed it. Discord support's great. Discord's awesome. There you go. Robert's saying, can you get a loan in the US for property in Slovenia? No. I mean, I have not even tried, but I'm going to assume a resound no, because when you get a home loan, so say a bank loans you $500,000 to buy a house, they own the house, right? You don't own the house, they own the house until some point that you actually pay off the loan, and then you own the house, like buying a car, right? You don't get the pink slip on your car until you've actually paid it off. So same thing, but they would, and therefore if I stop paying my loan, they have legal measures to recover, right? They can evict me, they can take my house that they currently own and resell it, right? That's how that works. If the property is international, they have no way of doing that. Laws wouldn't allow them to come in and seize the property and all that stuff. So, no, I don't think so. There is a potential, and I'm saying that without having looked into it, but just making some assumptions from what I know about home loans. There is a potential, and this is a very interesting thing I have to explore, of my business, because my company, PhotoJoseph Studios, has been in operation for a decade. It has notable income, proven track record, all that good stuff. I can get loans for the business quite easily. I never have, but I know that I can. I got the number of text messages I get offering loans. I'm like, yeah, because that's what I'm going to do. Borrow money from, do you want $500,000? Sure, I'll take $500,000. That's cool. Accept. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea. Anyway, businesses can buy property in foreign countries. There is a agreement between lots of countries around the world, and the U.S. is part of it, Slovenia is part of it, where foreign businesses can buy property in other countries. And so that might actually be a solution, because if I get a loan if the business takes a loan, my understanding, again, haven't really dug into this, but my understanding is that if the business takes a loan, the business is the collateral. And so I could use that loan for whatever I wanted, including buying foreign property. I think so. It's an option. It's something to look into. Like I said, we wouldn't buy right away anyway, but it is a possibility. I'm a little something I got to look into a little bit more. Anyway, so it's kind of it's an interesting thing. Setting up the studio, finding a place for the studio, that's a bigger challenge than finding a place to live. There's not lots. There's enough good options of places to live that are what we're looking for. Finding the studio space is going to be harder. And I'm going to do things quite differently than here, and I want more space than I have now. So anyway, it's all, we'll see. It's all fun. It's all part of, believe me, there will be videos about that. Don't worry. I will do live streams while I do building up setups of the whole new place, all that. It's, about a year from now. All this stuff, when it goes in a container, will take, I think they said 2.5 to 3.5 months to get there. So in that window, obviously I will pack up some gear so that I can continue to work, but not have everything. And then once I get there, I'll have a little bit of time to find a place to set up shop. If I need to do any painting, electrical work, whatever, get that taken care of before the container arrives. So it's all very exciting. A little unnerving, but very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Alfred from Brazil. Hello, Alfred in Brazil. What is, do I not have comments up? Sorry. I suppose I should actually bring that back up. What is your opinion about a used 35mm 1.8 DX Nikon for $142? I don't have any experience with that lens. I don't know. Sorry. 35 f1.8 is a great focal length and that's a nice fast aperture. You don't generally need really fast aperture on those wider lenses. You don't get it usually. So that's a pretty good, nice fast aperture for that. I mean, it sounds great, but I don't know if that's a good value or not. Sorry. But a 35-1.8 as a whole sounds awesome. You clearly use your home as part of your business. Yeah, of course I do. As little as possible, but yes. Obviously I do shoots there sometimes, but whatever. I try to keep it as separate as possible. Moving into this studio, gosh, 8 years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago, was the absolute best decision that I ever made for my business. I used to operate my business just out of a spare bedroom, right? And then that it kind of outgrew, but it just wasn't comfortable. I really wanted to get out. And when I found this place, it's kind of an interesting story, actually. Quick little story. And then we're going to get out of here. Back then I was only doing still photography. I wasn't doing video at all professionally. And I needed a studio for a shoot, for a personal project, shoot that I wanted to do. And I found a studio in town that rented out their studio space, photography studio. So I rented out the space and I did my shoot in the day. And it was so glorious to have this space and to have a place to have the lights set up. It's just like, oh man, I want a studio like this. But I can't afford a studio like that. But man, I sure would like one. So on kind of a lark, like window shopping, I went on Craigslist. I'm just looking around to see what's available in town, what it would cost. And I found this place. And it was reasonable cost, and it's a 1,000 square foot warehouse. It's a lot of space. Like, this would be pretty cool. Turns out it's really close to my home. Wow, that's awesome. And I thought, this is the first time I looked and I found this. That's pretty cool. Let's get to know what's available. I thought, I want to go look at it. So I emailed the property manager and I said, look, I'm not going to rent it. If you don't mind showing me the place, I would love to see it, but I'm not going to rent it. So understand that you're wasting your time as far as actually showing it, but if you don't mind. She says, oh, I'm right next door. No problem. Just come by anytime and I can show it to you. Cool. So I come in and I check it out. Like, oh, this would be pretty cool. All right, well, that was a nice little fantasy dream thing. And I said, how often do these things come up? She goes, never. No. These never come up. The only reason this place came up is because who was here before got evicted. They were growing pot illegally in here. Yeah, I'm like, oh, really? She goes, yeah. All the tenants, there's a bunch of these warehouses. They've all been here like 5, 10, 15 years. They don't leave. Because there's just not that much stuff like this in town. Oh. So I had a discussion with the missus, and we came to the conclusion that it was worth trying. And we made an agreement that I would commit to a year. And I would commit to a year of renting this place and running my business from here and see if I could make enough more money per month to cover the rent. That's all if I can just make enough more per month to cover the rent, then it makes it worthwhile. And that came in spades. Just having the space and the flexibility really changed what I was able to do. Hey, FedEx. Thank you, sir.
Here's the rest.
Here's the rest. It's so funny.
Oh, I have one more for you. 25,
Oh,
26.
yes, probably multiple parts. Ugh. So, oh, good grief. This one's heavy. This is not another iPhone. Oh, good Lord. Okay, let me just drag this out of the way. This is a new desk. So I have a advertiser. There we go. Who you will hear all about soon. And it is they're a standing desk manufacturer and they're sponsoring a video. And so I've got a standing desk to replace this one. Thank you. Take care. No signature? Good. Thanks. Take care, buddy. Because this desk, it's great. It's, this was actually custom built, but it's a really nice wood desk underneath this, but I wanted the white thing. So once I started using it for this, I put the white thing on here. But as you have undoubtedly seen in many videos, my white cover only goes so far. And I cannot get a piece of white plexi like this without spending like $300 or $400 on shipping. So I just refused to buy it. There's nowhere local that does it. Anyway, so this company reached out years ago, wanted to sponsor. They didn't have a desk that was big enough, so I said, not interested. And then they just came back to me a month ago and said, hey, we've got now a bigger desk. You want to do it now? And so we're doing it. So that's the part of the desk just arrived. So the next time you see a show, there'll be a new desk in here, be white all the way across, and it's actually adjustable height. So I'm excited. Anyway, that's that. Okay, good God. Was your wife's cake making video? Crepe making. It was crepes. Let's get that chat back on there. It was crepes. Done in home. It was. God, my wife despises that video. It's so funny. I mean, it's an awesome video. It looks great. She looks fantastic. But it was when we first moved here, and her accent was still quite heavy, and which is funny because I never really thought it was. But now you look back 10 years later, and it definitely is. She hates that video, but it's on there. It's public. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'll let you guys find it. I will miss the package deliveries during the live stream when you move. Well, it's not going to stop getting packages, but who knows when they're going to come. That's a whole other thing. Like getting Amazon stuff, here I'm spoiled, right? Amazon delivery next day, 2 days later, all the time. Anyway, Amazon Prime does not deliver into Slovenia. So I can get Amazon there, but it's a whole other thing. So I'm probably going to end up setting up basically a P.O. box, a mailbox in Austria, which the border's only 10 minutes away. I'll probably end up setting one there for my Amazon deliveries because then I can do Prime into Austria. But yeah, fun stuff. Okay. All right. She's lovely and her accent is sweet. I agree with you completely. Okay. Oh, that new desk smell. All right, I'm out of here. Let's shut this thing down. Let's get out of here. This has been fun. Thank you, everybody. I think when I do my show closing thing, we're going to get a big nothing burger graphic. Let me load the original graphic back up so that doesn't happen. Usually I have a show open and a show close graphic. I realize as I'm about to hit the button that I did not do, there it is, did not do a show close graphic. So let me load this into place. Hopefully it's in the right place so that the show open graphic comes up instead of a big nothing burger. And as soon as that's loaded, I'm going to hit that button. So, hey, everybody, it was super fun. Love seeing you all again. Thank you for tuning in. I have absolutely no idea how many people were here. I'll check my stats later. And it seems to have gone well. Of course, it was only HD, but I'll get back to 4K next time. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.